Hey there, welcome to my Williamsburg fan wreath tutorial. Ever since we lived in Norfolk, Virginia, I had seen this sort of display pop up around the holiday season, and I always wanted to attempt it for my own house. So when we bought this house, honestly, one of the first things I said to Mike was, oh my gosh, it has the perfect front door for one of those Williamsburg fruit wreaths. So we started this project last weekend. Mike did the measurements of the triangle above our front door. He cut out some plywood with those dimensions and then spray painted it black. Over the next week, I went shopping for the faux fruit that I wanted to use, as well as looking around our yard for magnolia leaves, boxwood, and that's pretty easy to come by. We live in a very nice forested neighborhood. So this is going to be a mixture of faux and real. Almost all of the fruit is faux. I bought it down below, or all the links for everything that I'm using. And these are actually fresh magnolia leaves that I got from our yard. So I love magnolia, and it's also what's really more common for this type of display. A little bit of boxwood too is also from our yard. So basically the history behind these is that in Colonial Williamsburg times, settlers would use what they had naturally around them for decorations during the holidays. So I love kind of embracing nature in my holiday decor right now this year, even though this is a little bit of faux fruit. But we also deal with a lot of squirrels because we live in the forest, so I didn't want to put anything fresh out there, although it is more customary to use fresh fruit. So basically what I'm doing is going around using a hot glue gun to stick down some of these magnolia leaves along the top of my triangle. I went through a lot of glue sticks, so make sure you have a lot of glue handy here. And then I took a couple sprigs of the boxwood and just kind of put those every couple inches. Strategy here was to glue a little bit on the actual stem, press it down, and then kind of encapsulate the stem with hot glue. So kind of make two lines right on either side of the stem, hold it in place for a few seconds, and let it kind of encapsulate the stem. I also ran some boxwood along the bottom of the triangle as well. One thing to kind of keep in mind is that this will be up in the air. So everyone who is walking underneath it will be seeing the bottom of it pretty well. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't neglect the bottom and only focused on the top. So that's why I did a row of the boxwood at the bottom. This took me, I would say, 45 minutes from start to finish with all of the gluing and getting it installed on our front door. So it's a pretty easy DIY with about under an hour. That doesn't count cutting the wood last week though, but I thought it was really relaxing. I was doing this on a Sunday afternoon. Birds were chirping. It was a beautiful fall day. I could see myself doing this every single year. One of the plus sides to using the faux fruit is that I don't know how this is going to look in a month, guys, I'll be honest, but I could reuse that faux fruit if I decide to make a new one next year. Maybe if I had used faux magnolia and faux boxwood, I could have just stored this and used it again next year. But with those things being readily available to me, it was a little bit of a cost savings for me to just go and trim off some branches. I really didn't need that much, but we'll see how this goes. So finishing out just that row of boxwood at the bottom, then I decided to use this filler. Kind of looks like Spanish moss to me. I got it at Michael's. They have a couple different shades to pick from there, so I just went with the one that looked the most natural to me. And here I'm just spreading it out across the board. I really wanted it to look a part of nature in full. I didn't want to see any of the black plywood underneath it, so this just helps me to mask it. I was pretty sparse here with the hot glue. Just every couple inches where there was a clump of it, I would just put a little dot of glue and press it down. This stuff is pretty interconnected on its own, so I didn't feel like I had to be heavy-handed with the glue. Also because I will be gluing the fruit on top of it, so the fruit is going to hold it in place as well. So I think that's a really nice touch, and you'll see I actually add even a little bit more towards the end. So the first thing I did was to place the pineapple in the center, and that is a real pineapple. I haven't had good luck with finding faux pineapples, so we'll see if the squirrels get to it, but it'll be easy to swap out if not. So I placed that in the center. And then I went around and placed all of my fruit, and this is actually sped up quite a bit. I had some green apples on here at one point. I had a different layout. This is kind of where I landed. I'm not going to bore you with my different iterations of it. But once you have the layout that you like, then you can go around and hot glue all the fruit into place. Initially, Mike thought that we would have to drill through all of this and stake the fruit onto different screws, but I'm so glad that the hot glue kept everything in place. So I don't think we'll have to reinforce it with nails. My gluing strategy here was to glue onto the back of the fruit. Be generous with your hot glue, but don't wait too long because it'll start to harden on the fruit. So generously apply it to the fruit, squish it down, hold it into place for a few seconds until that glue dries. This is sped up, so you have to hold it there for a few seconds. Then I would kind of hit it from the side a little bit and add a little bit of glue underneath it just to sort of reinforce it. Like more is more. Don't be stingy with your glue sticks. Get like a couple bags. Okay, here was our challenge with the pineapple. So Mike bought these really long screws. First thing he did was to drill 2 holes into the board from the top, just to kind of make a hole for the screws. So let me show you that. Here we go, drilling down a few inches apart. Then he worked from underneath, drilling up through those holes these really long screws. I think they're like 2 1/4 inches. They're pretty long. So here you go. That's what it looks like. So that's the pineapple is going to be staked onto that. All right, on the front of the house, Mike put this board, and he screwed down through the board down into the door trim. That way, you use screws, that way you can unscrew it at the end of the holidays. Yeah. Now he's placing this on the front of that board. Okay, now he's using screws to screw through the fruit board into that piece of plywood, and that's what's holding this into place. So okay, the board is sitting in front.
The board's sitting like this. Yeah.
Yeah. The fruit board is sitting in front of the board. Okay.
Yes.
What's holding it at the top? Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just pretty good.
Just leverage. Yeah.
I wonder if you should put a nail to support the pineapple, underneath it. If that doesn't, get those.
Good.
Shove it on there.
Really hold it though. It's leaning forward.
Yeah.
You need something at the top to hold it.
Oh, you know what? I bought twine.
Okay.
Like a metal twine. Let me go get that.
All
right, this stuff I bought anticipating that we might need some extra support. It's like floral wire. It's called stem wire. So we'll see if we can use that to help the pineapple.
Hold this.
What?
Hold this.
Hold it.
Pineapple.
Well, shouldn't we wrap the top of it here?
I was gonna wrap it around the screw
Oh,
first.
you might, and I would use maybe 2. One nail at the bottom to hold the pineapple up. Might be a good idea. There she is.
That'll work. You know, survive a hurricane, but
Oh, it looks so good. We gotta do the other one.
yeah. That looks cool.
Yeah. Alright, hope you like this tutorial for the Williamsburg fruit fan. Let me know if you make one for yourselves. You could tag me online at Classically Jill on Instagram. Go to classicallyjill.com, send me an email. I'd love to see what you guys have made.